guys, don't mind the voice. I am currently sick at the time of recording this, but today's video is going to be a little different. It's a cook with me type of video, just sped up so that it doesn't take an hour and a half. So we started with some potatoes, and here's me washing all of those so that they were nice and clean, ready to be cooked. And then I had to peel them as well. Dad thought it was taking too long, so he came to help me with peeling them and cutting those all up. Once we finished peeling them, here's all the veggies. Once we finished peeling them, we had to, of course, cut them all up. So here's me finding my knife and cutting all those veggies up. Started with the potatoes and then moved on to the sweet potato because the pumpkin was already in the pot. And so I cut all those into quarters and then cut those quarters into slightly smaller quarters. And then here's me cutting some carrots a little bit. I'll move the camera in a minute to show you how I cut them, but I just cut those into strips and then cut those strips into smaller strips. Here's a different camera angle so you can see better, but I cut those into thirds and then cut those thirds into half and then cut those halves into quarters. And then they all went into this blue dish thing so they could be cooked. And I put some honey in before they cooked, but I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to until after they got cooked, so they turned right off. They turned out alright though, so it's not the end of the world. And then I cut up some zucchini. I tried to cut these as evenly as possible so that everyone would have the same amount, but of course that didn't turn out to be the case, but it wasn't too bad. Everyone had more or less the same. And then I grabbed some little broccoli pieces. I grabbed enough for 2 for everyone. And then I put the peel all in the bin. That took like 3 handfuls. I swear there was so many veggies I didn't even realize. But then Mum came to help because she thought I didn't know what I was doing. And here's the meat that we used. Mum did have to end up helping me open that, because I couldn't without worrying that I would cut the meat in half, and I didn't want that. So Mum helped me open the package and put all the veggies in the dish to put in the microwave, but I ended up getting it open and I pulled all the steak out and got it ready to be seasoned. So we did use sizzle steak or minute steak, so it didn't take too long to cook. But here's me just moving them all around and putting putting the seasoning on them. I think it was some barbecue rub mix thing, but they were all clumped together, all the seasoning bits, so it was really hard to take it out and get even. And then here's me doing the back of the steaks so that at least it was kind of even. And then I put those on to cook. And here's me just cooking the steaks, grabbing the utensils I would need in order to cook them. Just vibing, really. I started playing with the tongs because I was bored and I had nothing else to do except for sit there and wait for the steaks to cook. I swear it took so long, but it actually only took a couple minutes. Checked on the carrots just to make sure they wouldn't burn. And then I flipped the steaks a couple times, mostly because I hadn't cooked them before and I didn't know that I was supposed to leave it for a couple minutes and not flip them every 2 seconds. That's what they look like halfway done. And then I grabbed out a couple plates so that I could serve it up as soon as it was out. I then flipped the steaks again. The carrot was done, so I put a little bit more honey in just to make sure that none of it had washed off while they were cooked. I swear guys, honey carrot is like the best. It's like the only way I will ever eat carrot anymore. I flipped the steaks again and moved the pan because it is an excessively large pan for our little stovetop thing, so I had to make sure all of them got cooked. And then I flipped the steaks again just to make sure that they were done on both sides. Here's what they look like, pretty much done. Flipped them one more time just to check that all the edges and everything were done. And then I started to take them out when I knew they were ready because Mum came and helped me and told me that they were done. So she held the plate as I unloaded those, and then she emptied out any of the juices that had come out so I could put the next few on. And then I had to check that my mash was almost ready, so I went and grabbed a fork so that I could stab the potatoes and stuff to see how cooked they were. I took the last couple steaks out because they were done. And then I turned that hot plate off because that would have been bad if it hadn't have given a chance to cool down. I filled the pan with water so that that could not burn. And then I stabbed the potatoes and stuff one more time just to check how ready they were. I got Mum to stab them to make sure that it was correct and that they were cooked. Grabbed the masher thing and the pot and I started to mash them. And Mum requested that she have her mash before I put the milk and butter and stuff in. So I mashed those up a little bit more and then grabbed some for her plate and put that on her plate. And then I poured the milk in and I mashed that up so that it could all get mixed in. I put a small hunk of butter into the pan so that it could also get all mashed together and become very creamy the way that we like our mashed potatoes. I mashed that all up so that it would all mix together and not be a hunk of butter that someone unfortunately bit into. And then I grabbed the salt and pepper and put a little bit of those in because people are kind of picky and don't like too much seasoning, but you can't not season your food. So I mixed all those up, made sure they were all nice and mashed together. And then once I knew they were ready, I started serving them up onto the plates with the steaks. So I moved that aside once it was done, and I served up all the veggies. I served up the broccoli and the zucchini, as well as the honey carrot. And then because we were having steak, I attempted to make gravy, but we ran out of Gravox, and so the mixture was too runny, so no one actually used it. But oh well, I tried. Here's me just waiting for the jug to boil because that thing seemed to take forever. And then I made that gravy, but like I said, no one actually used it because it was too runny. And so that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. There's dinner. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you on the next video.